Pinal County Sheriff, Arizona Sheriff Paul Bebu. All right, good evening, Sheriff. Our border is in chaos. An off-duty border agent murdered this week. Illegals deported 2, 3, 4 times, end up back in the country. How do you do your job?
Yes, Judge. And one first, our heart breaks for Agent Vega and his family. It's not just 2, 3, 5 times. Here in my county, Pinal County, Arizona, try 12, 15 times. And these illegals are readily admitting it as our deputies are arresting them for state crimes. And nobody should be scratching their head wondering why they're returning a 16th time, because it appears that there is no law when it comes to immigration. The president has undermined the law.
All right. Paul, you and I in law enforcement, many years. All right. When you identify someone as coming in, is there a detainer on that person? Does ICE come in and take them?
There is.
Tell me how it works. What do they do? Say, don't come back, and then they walk them back?
We had, exactly. We had 123,000 was the last figure by the Border Patrol just here in the Tucson sector. And so oftentimes the drug smugglers, the human smugglers, there's connected state crimes where we can arrest and enforce and have consequences. Right. But when there's a detainer and we turn them back to the Border Patrol, what essentially happens, they're sent back. There are no consequences when it comes to the immigration. And that's where it really has become a revolving door for them.
Sheriff, you say they're sent back. Let's assume they're from Mexico. They're sent back to Mexico. Okay? And then what?
And then they're ready to try again the next day. And essentially, if not only the 123,000, and I'd like to connect it to the very important issue of ISIS, if 123,000 illegals that are apprehended here, and God knows how many that haven't been apprehended, does it stand to reason that others with military training and millions of dollars in resources, what is the likelihood of them sneaking in the border right here in the Southwest, creating a very dangerous national security threat to our nation?
Well, you have to wonder, as I sit here listening to you, Sheriff, how do you get through the day? You have to feel that you're almost just on one of those things that those guinea pigs run around on. You just keep doing the same thing. What?
It is. And it's like a hamster wheel, and it's a nightmare that doesn't end. And this is where the states, just like Governor Perry did, Christine Jones wants to do it here, all the Southwest border governors have to assert the 10th Amendment while the federal government and this president has failed at his core responsibility to protect our country. Forget worrying about everywhere else. I get Iraq, I get ISIS because I served there as an Army officer, but what about putting America and our interests first? What about protecting our country, securing our border, protecting us from this obvious national security threat?
Well, I am convinced, and who knows, but when we let in these young men who are self-admitted MS-13 gang members who say to us, I killed to get into MS-13 and I'm proud of my gang affiliation, what makes us think we have to take them in? If they're coming here, Paul, because they're so afraid of the gang violence, if they're telling us that they're gang members themselves, why are we letting them in?
You're so right, Judge, and I tell you that 2008 law has to be corrected immediately. We should take these 60,000 unaccompanied juveniles and send them back to their country of origin, reunite them with their families, because if we don't do this, it's going to happen again. There's going to be another 90,000. And anybody who thinks that these kids are going anywhere, the intent of this president, think again. So we've got to act. Congress, this Republican Congress, the House, has been doing a good job fighting and stopping bad legislation. So I, as one, is cheering them on to stop this president from circumventing the Congress. We have to stand up and stop the power grab.
All right, Sheriff Paul Bebu, thanks so much for being with us this evening.